Hello and welcome to Trinity Online for April the 23rd, 2023. Pastor Donna Svarin, will be preaching this Sunday and presiding. And so I don't want to do too much this time that might kind of send things in a different direction. She has her own ideas of where she wants to go with this text, but I do want to read the text for you and just kind of lay a couple of things out for you to think about. Our narrative lectionary is from Acts 10. In Caesarea there was a man by the name of Cornelius, a centurion of the Italian cohort, as it was called. He was a devout man who feared God, and his whole household did. He gave alms generously to the people and prayed constantly to God. One afternoon at about 3 o'clock he had a vision in which he clearly saw an angel of God coming in and saying to him, "Cornelius." He stared at him in terror and said, "What is it, Lord?" And the angel said, "Your prayers and your alms have ascended as a memorial before God. Now send men to Joppa for a certain Simon who is called Peter. He is lodged with Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside." When the angel who spoke to him had left, he called 2 of his servants and a devout soldier from the ranks, and after telling them everything, he sent them on to Joppa. About noon the same day, as they were on their journey and approaching the city, Peter went up on the roof to pray. He became hungry and wanted something to eat, and while a meal was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw the heavens opened up and something like a large sheet or a sail coming down, being lowered to the ground by its 4 corners, and in it were all kinds of 4-footed creatures and reptiles and birds of the air. He heard a voice saying, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "By no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is profane or unclean." The voice said to him again, a second time, "What God has made clean, you must not call profane." This happened 3 times, and the thing was suddenly taken back up into heaven. Now while Peter was greatly puzzled by what to make of the vision, suddenly the men that were sent by Cornelius appeared and knocked at the door. "They are asking for Simon's house, and they were standing by the gate." Then Peter began to speak to them. "Now I truly understand that God shows no partiality, but in every nation, in every ethnicity, anyone who fears God and does what is right in harmony with God is acceptable." God's story, our story. So just a couple things to think about in regard to this text, because one of the things that often catches us by surprise is that we don't realize that Christianity really started out as a movement within Judaism. And it was not an easy thing for it to move out of Judaism, for it to become kind of distinct in its own way, or even the possibility of it moving out into the Gentile world. We have this event that's taking place with Peter where his limits, his boundaries are really being pushed. And he is being asked to do something that he considers to be not just unreligious, but really in many ways, with every fiber of his being, something that he's been taught is really wrong, deeply wrong, to the point of like physical disgust. And this whole kind of little parable that takes place in this vision, where these animals that within the Jewish religion have been declared to be unclean. Not only do you not eat them, you don't even touch them. And Peter his initial reaction is the right one. "No way, Lord, I'm not even, I know this is a test. I know you're trying to get me to eat something that I shouldn't, and I'm not going to do it." And then the realization and the reminder, what God has declared clean, human beings shall not declare to be unclean. That God is constantly opening the window, opening the door, and opening up our own minds to recognizing that we are the ones who tend to put the boundaries down. We are the ones who tend to decide who's in and who's out. We are the ones we tend to say these people or these actions, these behaviors, these lifestyles are holy, and these other ones are outside of God. And God is constantly coming back and saying, "No, you are all my children. The whole world is mine. All of humanity is mine." How many times do I have to keep reminding you that that all of this is about God embracing the whole, not separating certain ones out. It's a few things to think about. God bless.